Hello you lovely people. Welcome back to the channel. Friday weekend is fast approaching. The thought of going back to the west is terrifying me, people. It's terrifying me. Dog barking up there, sorry about that, can't help it. Don't know who he belongs to. I don't think anyone knows who the dogs belong to here anyway. But yeah, going back, which I'm gonna have to go back for a while, sort out a few bits and pieces. I'm not looking forward to it. And as many people have said, they couldn't live in the Philippines. And I totally get that. But the thought of going back, I mean, I won't be back for any length of time. And I don't know when I'm going to be going back, but I've got to go back in the near future, back to England, sort out a few bits and pieces that I need to sort out. I see my sons, my two sons in England, but the thought of it, it's just terrifying me. And why is that? I don't know. I think I've become so accustomed to my life here in the Philippines, and I've got such a relaxed way of life here. To a degree, I still have to do a bit of work and that, and I still do get a bit frustrated at things, but generally speaking, not so much. It's quite easy here for me. Now, when I go back home, yes, I'll see a few friends, but I've been here now without being back to England for 8 years. That's quite a long time. It's like a culture shock going back. And I know I'm British, and I know my country is the United Kingdom. I know that. But after speaking with friends, which I do speak with a few friends periodically, and they tell me what's going on in England and things like this, and it's become so expensive there. So although I can work, when I get back in England with what I'm doing here, the salary that I earn here is going to go nowhere there. Right, yes, I won't have to pay no rent when I go back because I've got a house there. So I can, there's no rent or mortgage to pay because it's all done. But it's just the pure thought. He's my dog, look, he's coming to find me. He's coming to find me. Hello, Jackie. And yes, when I see my friends for a little while, and I like my two sons, I'm really looking forward to seeing my two sons, but they've got their own lives and they won't want me around for too long. I know they won't, and I won't want to be there for too long. And I don't know how long I'm going to have to need to be there for. This is the frustrating part for me, is I don't know how long I'm going to need to be there for. But needs must. And, like a lot of, my viewers will say, or they have said, I couldn't live in the Philippines, the dogs barking and the chickens and all that. But I think when I go back home, or back to the UK, because I call here now is my home, or my residence is here, I will always be British, patriotic to my country, kind of, but I wouldn't fight for my country, certainly not. But patriotic, I think, so to a degree. But leaving here with the noise, and you guys might find this really strange, but the roosters and the dogs barking and the video that goes on here, I'll probably miss that, when I go back to the UK for a while. I'll probably miss it. And I probably won't be able to sleep because of the quietness, perhaps. But I know where I live in England it's a place called Hastings, and it's on the southeast coast, and it's in the county of East Sussex. And I live very, very close to where the Battle of 1066 took place. In battle, Hastings is only 3 miles away, and I live right near the sea, right on the coast. And when my sister used to come and see me, when she was alive in England, she couldn't sleep because of the seagulls. Because being near the coast in England, you have all of these seagulls. Now, I never heard them, or I think I became deaf towards them. But my sister, she couldn't sleep. She said, Stephen, how can you sleep with all them seagulls squawking on? I never heard them. And I think it's the same here. You know, when you're my viewers like yourselves, you think, oh, them dogs barking, those chickens, it must drive you crazy. It did in the beginning. It did, people, really. I thought, I can't live here. I can't live in the Philippines. It's cracking me up. It's doing my head in. Ah, I can't do it. But I think out of perseverance, and I thought, well, I'm not going to let chickens drive me away because I love the place. And then you just get used to it. So it's funny how you get used to your own surroundings. People banging is in my house. They working in my house. I do apologise. I've walked away as far as I possibly want to because it's all muddy here and I don't want to go too far out there because it's even worse. So yeah, people, you do become accustomed to the things that you are, or to your surroundings. If you want to, I mean, if you don't want to, then nobody does. People go, I can't live there. It's too noisy. It's too this. It's too that. I don't know how long I'll have to be in England for. I don't know. I've got to sort some bits out. It's to do with the house. A lot of you guys, my views have said, well, don't sell the house, just rent it. And it's like a permanent income. But yeah, I can, I get that. But my two sons, they won't be living anywhere near the house because my second son, he doesn't live anywhere near the house. He's like 200 miles away. And my first son, who's still in the house now until he buys his own place, which I think he's there now. That's why I've got to go back, because he's looking at a house and he likes it, and he's there put an offer in, and the people's accepted it. So he will be moving out of the house pretty in the next few months. And where he's bought the house is, again, it's not close to where my house is, and I can't trust anybody enough to go around and check on my house. So I've got to have a long, hard think about this. Am I going to sell the house? Am I going to keep the house and rent it, with the possibility of the tenants that I get might wreck the house because there's no one there to check? Yes, I can go through an agency and the agency would be in charge, but I don't trust many agencies, especially back in the UK. I've heard a few horror stories. In fact, I know of a few horror stories where friends have rented out houses and the agency goes round for the first 3 months or something, and then they don't bother. And what was happening with some of them, some houses were being used as drug houses, to grow cannabis and things like that. Imagine that. So I don't know what to do, people. Maybe I can have some suggestions off of you, my viewers here. But I'm thinking on the lines of selling. That's what I'm thinking. But I know back in England now it's not a buyer's market. That's why I was surprised at my first son buying a house in the way it is at the moment. But he said with all of these tariffs that Trump has just imposed around the world, that it might even get worse for selling houses and buying houses. I don't know. I've been back to the UK for 8 years. I don't know what's going on there. I know things have shot up in price since I've been there. They would do anywhere in 8 years. Since I've been in the Philippines, over these 8 years, when I first came here, things were relatively cheap. Now things are not so cheap as they were. Some things are still cheap, but for an example, building materials. When I first came to the Philippines, and I didn't build a house when I first came, I bought a house, and it all went Pete Tong went wrong. That's another story, which I did a video previous. But since I started building this house, I've noticed an increase in the materials, but then I've noticed it come down a little bit. Some things have come down, some things have stayed the same, some things have increased, which is, I suppose, that's natural, isn't it? Inflation or whatever it is. But I suppose that's like a natural phenomenon. But either way, it's not as cheap as what people think here, by the way. It's not as cheap as people think, but it is still cheap. Can't get away from that. It's still cheap, and rent is probably the most cheapest thing that you'll notice here when you want to rent a place. That was my dog going. That's probably one of the most cheapest things that you will kind of notice if you're renting a property here. It's not like, especially back in the UK, you rent like a 2-bedroom property. It's like 800, might be more than that now. might be more than £800 a month, probably £1,000 a month. Well, here for £1,000 a month, you get I don't know what you get here. You get a bloody mansion for sure. For that kind of money. So I like the Philippines, guys. I really do. I love it here, people. And I'm not looking forward to getting on that plane when I do eventually go and going back for a while, for some time. So I don't know how long I'm going to be there. It could be 2 months, could be 6 months. Don't know. We'll cross that bridge when I come to it, I suppose. But I thought I'd just make a video. Because a few viewers have said, where are you? You haven't been doing many videos the last couple of weeks. Well, I did a couple last week, I think, or 1 or 2 last week. Might have even done 1 this week. I can't remember. When I've got work going on in my house, everything blends, because I have to keep an eye on them. And I have to keep running around getting a few materials and taking care of my son and this, that and the other. And all the days kind of blast into one. I don't know where I'm at. I'll be pleased when they finish, really. And the timekeeping here frustrates the hell out of me. It really does. And I know they don't get a lot of money. I pay the, saying the master worker, he's not a master worker. There's 2 of them there. I pay one, I pay one 400 pesos a day. And the other one, the master as I call him, I pay him 600 a day. So that's 1,000 pesos a day. Yes, I know it's not a lot of money. But here, the guy I'm paying 600, he normally gets 450. The guy I'm paying 400, he normally gets 350 a day. So my thinking was, if I give them a little bit more, they would work a little bit harder. Or not so much harder, but keep the timekeeping. Didn't work. And now I can't give them less money now, because I've already started to do that. For an example, they start at 8 o'clock, finish at 11:30, come back at like 1 o'clock, and finish at 4 o'clock. That's not very good, is it? Even some of the guys. People say to me, Stephen, what you need is a foreman, a Filipino foreman, to keep them timekeeping. But that's another salary, isn't it? Can't be bothered with all that rubbish anyway. They'll be finished here in another week. I think anyway. He's putting all the ceilings in, and on the terrace, they're putting the ceiling on the terrace, and then after that, they will be going around the house on the bottom story, not the top story. I haven't started that yet. I mean, it's there, but it's all going to be enclosed and everything. So they will be putting the soffits and fascias on all around. That's the final. Oh, and concrete and some steps. When you got a little bit of money, and it is only a little bit of money, and you start having building work done, you'd be surprised how quick that money just disappears. Even in the Philippines, it's just like, oh, I've got this, I can do that. Yeah, I can save it. Nah, it just goes, people. It just, boom, gone. You think, shit, what did I spend all that on? Not that I've got a lot to spend, but, I've got to keep making progress. As long as I'm making progress, I'm happy. It's when you become stagnant. Like here, this house was stagnant for a long time. So I really didn't have any financial capability to do it. And it was like, oh, I was getting all despondent. So I saved a little bit. Only a little bit because I don't earn a lot. But now it's coming. Now I can see progress, which I'm very, very happy about. My wife doesn't seem, this is a Filipino thing. Or she's shown a bit of interest in this going up. The ceilings, but not the interest that I'm like, oh, wow, look. And she like walks around. I think they keep it inside. Whereas us Westerners, we kind of express it inside and outside. It's like the workers, when they do a good job, which they have done a good job, I will admit. And I say, that's a good job there, lads, and they just, there's no kind of, yeah, it looks nice, doesn't it? They don't do that. They don't say anything. I'm thinking, well, you've done it, and I think it's a good job, and you should be pleased. But it's raining, guys. I'm going to go home. It's raining. If I can get home before I get too wet, I will show you what they've done so far. If I can get home. Well, I'll get home, but if the camera doesn't get damaged. Oh, it's just a nightmare, guys, having to go back to England. I mean, it's different if you want to go back. If you want to go back, that's great. But it's when you have to go back. That's what I don't like. I'm back. I'll show you what they've done quickly. so far. All inside is done. Now, they're doing this now, see. This is the turret, the turrets, and they just boarding out all this, which is a lot. There's got the drill and the downlights and stuff. So yeah, all inside is done. Looks great. Just got to be all taped up and skin coated. And the downlights, and we've done the. So, and the bedrooms are done. My little boy having his breakfast. Say hello, people. Yay! Yeah. So, people, that's it. And the concrete steps are going to be here. I'm going to get rid of this this here and do some proper steps with some balustrades around it. That's the plan. People, thank you very much. If you like the video, I'm going to do what everyone else does. Please like, subscribe and share the video. If you don't, then you don't have to. Anyway, hope you have a great weekend, people, and it's really, really nice to be talking to you. And I love my channel, and I really love it because I get some great comments, and I've got many subscribers, so I'm doing something right. Thank you, people. Take good care. God bless you. Bye-bye.